Namaskaram. Welcome to day 57 of the Safe Soil Journey. Today I just thought that we could cover about clothing and how it can affect the quality of our life if we can and what kind of clothing we should try to choose. So I think you may have heard from Sadhguru about this, about why we should avoid synthetic clothing and wear something which is organic in nature. So if you wear organic clothing, something like raw silk or cotton which is untreated in any way, that is the best material to wear, and you will see the body will behave in a very different way. We can try this and see if you wear just organic clothing like, let's say, cotton or raw silk, and just see how your body feels, and then try wearing tight fitting synthetic or nylon clothes and see how your body feels. You will see a big difference in the way the comfort level of the body is and also how the body is responding. So the kind of clothing which we may wear makes a big difference in the ease in which we can live our lives. So it is always suggested, see, it's not that this is something which is new and which we have just picked up over the last few years. It's this is something which that's how people were wearing. You will see generally, if you just go back and see, maybe 50-60 years before, the kind of clothing which people were wearing, you'll see men used to wear kurtas and dhotis, or something loose like this, which generally you'll see that they never used to wear stitched clothing, because what happens is when you wear stitched clothing, it restricts the movement of energy. So generally clothing which is unstitched, for example, like dhoti, which is an Indian attire, or kurta, or they just used to wrap a cloth around, and for ladies they used to wear saris, so which is even continuing right now. So you will see these are unstitched and it doesn't restrict the flow of energy, so people used to choose clothing like this. But now with modern fashion etc coming, a lot of us have lost this awareness, and many of us have started choosing clothes more for the quantity, because we try to keep on buying new clothes. And when you have so many clothes, you tend to kind of go for something which is much cheaper, and nylon or polyester or synthetic kind of clothing, you will see even these big brands, they're all advertising synthetic sports clothing and tight fitting clothes etc. So this is not at all good for the system. In fact, Sadhguru was mentioning this, that many of the diseases which young children are facing nowadays, like thyroid problems or autistic issues etc, this is mainly because of the kind of clothing which they are wearing. Because if you expose children less than 17-18 years of age, wearing polyfiber or polyester or any synthetic clothing like this, it can actually make a big difference in their health. And it could be the reason, because what happens is these kind of material like nylon etc, they are flammable. So to prevent that, what they'll do is they'll coat some substances which can which can which is basically a protection against it catching fire etc. And these chemicals are carcinogenic in nature, which means you can also tend to develop diseases like cancer etc if these kind of chemicals get into your system. So Sadhguru was mentioning this, that this could be the reason. So he was mentioning, as a rule, anyone less than, especially children less than 17-18 years of age, they should never wear anything synthetic. They should always wear organic fiber. And it's not that adults are free from it. Even adults, it makes a big difference, but just that they are less susceptible to these things than children. Children are more susceptible to it if they wear these polyfiber etc, polyester, which is coated with these chemicals. It is something which can easily affect children. So he was saying that we should try to see if certain policy changes can be done, where at least the school uniforms can be made organic, maybe with cotton or whatever material it's possible to procure. And if as parents also, if you can be more aware, you can try to see if you can choose quality over quantity. Even if you buy a few clothes and see if you can manage with that, definitely cotton or organic fiber, these would be more expensive. But again, if the demand increases, if the volume increases, then the price can be brought down. But right now, at least we can see how to choose quality over quantity, and maybe have less clothes and use the right type of clothes. So please experiment with this and see how your body feels with organic clothing. And you will see that Sadhguru has started this movement called as Save the Weave, where different types of weaves. So if you know this, India as a country was famous for its different kinds of weaves, and every region in India was famous for producing a certain kind of weave which had a different kind of feel and quality. And the farmers, the weavers, they developed this indigenously. It's not something which they learned over a course or something. It is something which was passed on from generation to generation until the British came and they systematically tried to destroy these textile industries. But this is something which we should try to revive, because you will see, if you have traveled across India, you will see that each region will have something which is very unique in terms of their textile. So India as a country has been famous for its designs and its clothing, etc. So it is time we bring this back. So to this effect, Sadhguru has started a movement called as Save the Weave, where they're trying to encourage and trying to encourage artisans to produce more of this clothing, trying to see if the demand for this can increase, and also facilitating supply of such kind of clothing. So if you look at Isha Life, if you go to Isha Life website, you will find a lot of sustainable organic clothing like this, so you could even explore that. So please see if you can do that. Another thing is that we should see if we can wear loose fitting clothing. That is much better than wearing something which is tight and body fitting, hugging like that, because what will happen, you will see, even if you have observed Sadhguru wearing his kurtas, etc., they will be very loose fitting rather than some wearing something which is tight. Because it's not just about the way it covers the body, but it's also about, it may restrict your thought and your energies. So we always, in the yogic path, we prefer wearing something which is loose fitting, organic, so that it helps you to be much at ease. And even while doing your practices, if you can see that whatever you're wearing is loose fitting, it's organic in nature, it will be very helpful. Even your yoga mat, even the yoga mat which we use, instead of using rubber or other synthetic materials, we can try to use something which is more natural, maybe cotton, or or any other fiber which is natural in nature and which is free from chemicals. That will be the best way to make use of this. So please see if you can experiment with this and share with us how your experience has been, that what kind of clothing you're wearing. It will be very nice to hear from all of you. So we'll also look in the next video about the significance of different kinds of colors and how it can impact your life. In terms of clothing, what kind of colors can impact your life. Namaskaram.